Hello, I am Trish Buzzone, and I am here with my teaching partner and my mentor and friend, Paul Martinelli.
Hey, Trish, and hi, welcome. So nice to be with you. You know, I've had an opportunity as the president of the John Maxwell team. We've got 23,000 coaches and trainers all over the world, 160 countries. I've always said this is kind of like the biggest personal growth and corporate development experiment in the world. And, you know, I don't know all 23,000 coaches, but what I've learned in my career is that the cream kind of rises to the top. And so, you know, I know Trish.
Thank you, Paul.
And I want to just encourage you, if you know that there's more for your life, like if you've got really good results and things seem to be going really well, but you know there's more, or maybe you're in a place where I was, where you're in a place of struggle where things aren't going well and you know there's more, I want to encourage you to reach out to Trish because I think one of your giftedness areas, Trish, is that you can see people's potential. Mm-hmm. And what's one of the first things you do when someone comes to you and they say, "Look, Trish, I know there's more for me in my life." How do you unlock someone's potential?
That's a really great question. Thank you, Paul. I think one of the ways that I help people unlock their potential is to sit down and have a conversation first to hear where are they thinking from, where are they coming from in their life, what's driving what their behavior is. Yeah. So it's really, part of what I share with people is that I'm kind of trained to hear the unsaid, what's fueling and driving the behavior.
That is so good, because I know, when I first started kind of being mentored and coached, I was probably about 24 years old, and I share a story. I was stuck, and I would be telling my mentor, here's what's wrong. And then he would always be working on things that I never said. I said, but I didn't say that. and he just said, he said something I'll never forget. He said, and I know you share this all the time, is he would tell me, "Paul, the truth isn't in the appearance of things. What you think is the problem isn't the problem.
Isn't the problem."
Yeah. And so like when you're listening in, what are some of the tells? Like, what are some of the tells where people might be stuck, or where people have a belief that doesn't serve them, or is there?
There's something that I'm kind of tuned in for, that my ear is trained for, and it's to hear when someone's telling me their story, and that's what it's usually like. Okay, well, what happened?
Yeah.
And so when someone's telling me their story, I'm listening for what they're saying on the other side of because.
Yes,
there's something on the other side of because that's telling the story. It's telling it. And I'm hearing what's the driving force and what's their belief system. Because what's on the other side of because is where you'll find someone's belief system.
And that is so true. I mean, I cannot tell you the number of times, I can't because I don't have the time. I can't because I don't have the money. I can't because I don't have I can't because, and before you know it, we're Dorothy going down the yellow brick road, because. And we're seeking that wizard outside of us. And truly, it is, seeking within, isn't it?
It is. And that gives me an opportunity to hear where they're speaking from. And what I would say what my signature is in the way I work is that I listen for people as a gift. Rather than listening to and bringing me into the conversation, listening to someone, it's kind of like, would you rather have somebody do something for you or do something to you? Mm-hmm. And I'd rather have somebody do something for me than get done to. Yeah. And so I'm listening for someone. And I think that's where the foundation of what I do and how I'm able to, I would say, come alongside people. I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, it's this idea of listening to the listening, right? Because they're listening to a story in their own head. Yes. And you're listening to how they present that, and within that there's a pattern plan that needs to be broken.
Exactly.
When people are presencing themselves, and they know there's more, but they can't see the vision of that, right? They know, like I know when I was stuck, like I knew there was more, But when my mentor, Patrick Hayes, was asking me, well, what is it that you want? All I could give him was what I didn't want. And so when someone finds themselves in a place where their focus is on what they don't want, what are some of the shifts that you guide them through? Is there a process, or is there
another great question, Paul?
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that where I come from with that is, what do you want? Mm-hmm. What do you want? I think the first thing we have to establish is, what do you want?
Yeah.
And then you hear all the stuff that people don't want. Because most people don't know, they just don't know what they want.
Yeah.
And so I think it's there, and then I think it's the process of just peeling back the layers until people get really, really clear. You went through an exercise with me. I got stuck, and your mentoring to me was peeling back those layers. And you were saying, okay, Trish, if you have this, you have what you want, then what? It's in that process.
Yeah, it's that kind of QBQ, question behind the question. Right?
Yes, it is.
Look, if you know in your life that there's more for you, and I've often said that, like Trish said, you in my mentoring, Trish is already highly accomplished, right? She's already successful. She's in a season of her life where, she's reached that level of success, but yet still as a coach and mentor. I still have a coach and mentor. I think it's important because you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. Mm-hmm. And I think what's evidenced in Trish's life and in my life is that you don't need to be sick to get better. I mean, we're both doing well, but we both also know that there's more for us. And if you know that there's more for you, no matter how good things are, no matter how much struggle you find in yourself, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your dream, you owe it to your family to click on the link below and learn more about the programs and opportunities to work with Trish that she has. Again, who you learn from matters. Click on the link below. You'll be really glad you did.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Trish.